Hey, friends. Welcome back to the Legally Legit podcast. Here we are. It's September, and this is going to kick off the second live segment of season 7 of the podcast. I know I said I was going to do some re-airs this summer. That didn't really happen. We had other things going on at TLP, and I was kind of out of it, which I'm going to get into in this episode. But anyway, it's September. It's fall. Kids are going back to school. I feel like my inbox is kind of heating up. And then, like Starbucks and all of my favorite coffee kiosks are launching their pumpkin flavored everything. It's like creeping back into our lives. But before we all as entrepreneurs dive head first into what I like to call busy season, I swear this is the busiest season of all seasons for business owners. I'm not sure why. It just always is these 3 months, September, October, and November. What I wanted to do before we all do that is I want to hit pause and kind of do a good old-fashioned life and biz update for you all, if that would be okay. I want to talk about the first half of 2025, really the first 8 months of 2025. So the first half plus July and August, and really how it was. I don't know how to say this nicely, but it was really chaotic for me. It was humbling in many ways. It was incredible. It was emotionally exhausting for a lot of reasons I'll get into. And then it was magical in many ways as well, all of it. At the Legal Paige, we launched a lot of new things. We had some big sales. We hired some people. We said goodbye to others that I was not expecting. Personally, I lost a beloved family member, which I will talk about. And along the way, for the past 8 months, I've been doing 2 big secret projects and really, truly building something extremely exciting that's launching soon. And I'm bursting to tell you all about it. Okay. Alas, more than anything, I just feel like this year has been a lot of learning and growth for me as a business owner on how I've learned to just let go, lead differently, take a real break, really embrace what resting actually is. So, hi, this episode is just us catching up, me talking to you like we're, sitting down on a porch with some coffee in hand. I like an oat milk latte with some coconut syrup. I don't know why. It's my go-to right now. So let's do this. Okay. You ready? Let's go.
Hey there, I'm Paige Griffith, your host, an attorney for small business owners, and the founder of the Legal Paige. I help online businesses and creatives get legally legit in no time. In this podcast, I break down and simplify legal talk while providing practical business guidance every step of the way. With over a decade of experience in both entrepreneurship and the law, think of me as your go-to legal resource, here to tackle all those what-if scenarios so that you can focus on what you do best, growing your business. As a gentle reminder and disclaimer, I am an attorney, but I am not your attorney, so be sure to seek legal counsel for personalized advice. Welcome to the Legally Legit podcast.
Okie dokie. I am going to break this episode down into some segments. The first segment, we're talking about the kickoff to the year, what happened in January to mid-March. I like to think of this as new year, new team, new energy. There was all this stuff happening at the beginning of the year. I swear January started so hot out of the gate. We not only welcomed Casey as our new COO at the Legal Paige, she's the backbone of everything now. And honestly, COO, quote unquote, the position chief operations officer can mean very different things to different businesses. And I actually learned this from a business mentor who had a COO. And I was like, tell me all the things. Can Casey mentor with her or have a chit chat with her and what she does? And this mentor just told me well, every business has this role doing something different. You really have to learn as you go and figure out what they're going to be. Honestly, Casey in the Legal Paige now over the past 8 months since she's been COO, it's not just operations. I swear she's my number 2. I wanted her to take on a lot of the management and like people management that I used to do at the Legal Page, so I could be more of the brand, the face of the brand. I could do a lot more brainstorming and visionary things. I could be traveling a little bit more, which I'm going to get into in segment 2 with like spring chaos traveling. But yeah, she's really the backbone of all things operations now for sure, but also has a huge role in the strategy of the marketing of TLP, because Casey's done everything. She's been with the team for over 4 years, 4.5 years. She started out in like a customer service role, and then she went into operations assistant and then operations manager. She's done a lot of affiliate management. Then she went into marketing director and marketing management. And now she's number 2 in the company. And it's a super cool thing that happened. And it was a big leap for us here at the Legal Page. I was like, okay, delegation to the max here. I'm going to give Casey all the things and see how she goes and rolls with it. She has been doing nothing but amazing things. I cannot say enough about having a number 2 in your business. That's probably for another episode. But anyway, that's how we started out of the gate. Then we had to onboard Leisha as our new marketing manager because Casey left that role. And she was legend behavior in both operations and marketing. But then Leisha came in with a true digital marketing background. She was a great referral from another business colleague and friend of mine. Always ask your people, like, if you're looking for a new role in your business, go ask your business industry friends and colleagues, because they probably are going to have a good referral for you or know someone who has a good referral. That's always where I start. I know some people say like go to Indeed and go to LinkedIn and like hire on your Instagram. And I've tried all those things, but I feel like my best hires now, looking back at the past 8 months too, with lots of like people management and team whiplash, which I'll get into in a little bit. It's from referrals and like, or hiring someone that I knew would be perfect for that role. So I've done all the things. I've done Indeed, I've done LinkedIn, I've done hiring from Instagram. So yeah, we brought on Leisha as our new marketing manager. Literally all this happened January 6th. I'll never forget it. We were like transitioning slowly in December. Leisha actually came on at the beginning of December so Casey could have some training time before she fully switched over to COO. And I kind of kept all of that management stuff in December. And then Leisha out of the gate, like January 1st, let's go. Then we hired a new attorney. So Christine came in to support all things attorney at the Legal Page. And so now we have 3 attorneys here at the Legal Page, myself, Alicia, and Christine. So fun, so amazing. And then Alicia has been really working on GSL's growth, which is our sister law firm, Griffith Swazo Law. Alicia became a named partner there, which is so exciting. She has been with the Legal Page for also almost 4.5 years. And we were like, okay, if Alicia's taking on some of the work at the law firm, now she can't be like the full supporting role as an attorney with me here at the Legal Page. She still does a ton with TLP. She balances both. That's also been something she's been working on for 8 months. And Christine came in and stepped in. She came from like a true law firm background and had no real expertise or experience in small business law, but she is, my goodness, one of the best hires I could say that I made. I mean, besides all the people I just mentioned, Alicia, Felicia, and Casey. But Christine was, I felt like I was kind of taking a chance on her, to be very frank with you, and the best chance I've ever taken. After 8 months, I'm like, she is my go-to gal. Like, she's always game for anything. She is so meticulous when it comes to contracts and transactional law. And that has been fun for her to kind of tear apart some of these contracts that I've been working on for 8-10 years. Alicia's been working on for 4+ years, and Christine coming in and like nitpicking every, T that needs to be crossed, I that needs to be dotted, colon that needs to be a semicolon. Just like phrasing in sentences. So that has been amazing. And then she's really taken on a lot of the supporting legal questions that come in at TLP day in and day out. So she does a lot with our Facebook group and questions there. You can go to tlpfacebook.com. If you don't have a lawyer kind of at your disposal or on hand, like an in-house counsel or someone that you've hired that's representing you all the time, the Legal Paige community on Facebook is amazing. It's free. And then myself and our attorneys, Christine and Alicia, are constantly monitoring the group and answering questions. So you can get actual real-time answers from us. Christine has now like fully taken that on. She's crushing life there and doing contract reviews. And then she helps a lot with our support inbox questions that come in from customers that we currently have or potential customers looking for a contract. So she has just like went in full on deep end in January. This is what I'm going to do with TLP. She told me, I'll never forget it, by the end of January, she was like, yeah, I was like drinking from a fire hose for a few weeks. And now I'm starting to get grounded. And now she really feels like just she knows so much. She loves learning more about the inner workings of TLP and the marketing strategies and what we do with like post purchases and customers and returning customers. So it has been really fun to see her growth over the past 8 months. And from here on out, I'm sure she's just going to be a huge part of the business. And then in January, we decided to run this sale. We did this like back end business sale in January. Honestly, the reason that this came up is because Casey and I were thinking for many years, like January is always one of our biggest months in terms of revenue, gross revenue that comes in. And it's because business owners are really thinking about the back end of their business in January. We've ran like website terms and conditions sales or like product or catalog specific sales in January, but we decided to run a big sale in January. I never do this and never did this previously because we have our big Black Friday sale that occurs and the team just needs a break. Our affiliates need a break. Like our marketing team needs a break for quite a few months. But we decided to do this. It went okay. It didn't go badly by any means. We had great numbers, but the exhaustion that we felt in January was not worth it to us. So we're not doing that again. That's, I guess, all I'm going to say. Lessons learned. It didn't go like it wasn't a bad thing, though. I learned a ton doing that. And I think it was really important to run a mini sale, so to speak, in January when we had a new marketing manager on board. Casey could lead Alicia through that marketing, craziness of a launch. We call it like a mini launch before we had our mid-year sale. So that wasn't her first sale that she ran. And Christine came on board as an attorney. And so she was able to like really train with Alicia side by side during a mini sale. So we learned a ton. I feel like my team learned a ton there. That was great. Then kind of right after the back end business sale in January, I just went on a quick family recharge trip to Hawaii. That was awesome. It's so fun to like go back and look at what I've done this year. It was so needed. We had just had a big move in December and then we moved to a new house and then all these team changes were happening. I was like, oh my God, I can't keep my head above water. And I was really burnt out. So my family recharge trip to Hawaii was amazing. It was like, I could go on and on about traveling with what was Shay? Like 14 months and then a toddler who was, 3.5. Not for the faint of heart. Thank God my parents were there. But I don't know. We were like taking pause after we got back. Like, should we do this again with toddlers and babies, or should we wait like 3, 4, 5 years to do another big trip? Now I felt like after like in February, I was like, heck no, never doing that again. It's kind of like having a baby. You're like, no, not doing that again. And then your brain completely shifts and you decide, oh no, I need another baby. Well, that is how I feel now in September, the beginning of September. I'm like, I'm itching to go on another family trip, maybe in January or February of 2026. Alas, I digress. Then in February, I felt like TLP like took a step back. We just needed some like intentional onboarding and time to train and people just really getting into the back end of monday.com, which is our task management system. I also decided to like bring some developers in town for a week for our secret tech project that we've been working on that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. It was like mind boggling, expanding, and also by the end of these like 4 days, which was, I just felt like my brain was exploding from all of these developers talking tech and SaaS and blah. I honestly finally understood like how complex this online software and just software world really is. And development and coding, and oh my God, it was so much, but it was so great. So that also happened in February. Quick check there that we also did that. That was cool. And also did like a short sprint, design sprint for this secret project, which was just, it was crazy to get into and just really awesome. I just felt like I was learning so much along the way. Then in March, oh my gosh, March. Okay. We had a brand shoot. I'm going to be doing a whole brand shoot episode coming up here, I think next week. And I'm gonna really get into the nitty gritty of content, brand shoots, how that can fuel your year. And we did a mini one in March. They always kind of expand into like a larger brand shoot. But it was really fun because we were fueling kind of the next few months. We wanted new, fresh content. I was feeling really good with kind of my health and how I, just when you feel good and you feel confident, you just like take better brand photos, in my opinion. And we did content and reels, and then we were planning marketing photos and videos for our mid-year sale. Okay, so I did all that in March, and then I was editing like crazy and I hit the road. So this is kind of the next segment of this episode. Just spring chaos, travel, and more team shifts, if you can believe it. So I had this travel marathon at the end of March, and I knew that that was on my calendar. I had 2 weeks back to back in March, and then I had 2 weeks at the beginning of April. It was a fun travel marathon. It was a whirlwind. It was so fun. So I went to WPPI, which is in Las Vegas, and I went with Christine, our new attorney. And it was really cool. It was good for her to kind of dive in even deeper on, okay, what are photographers doing in 2025? What are their needs? Just talking to people, meeting some new affiliates that we had, some old affiliates, really fostering those affiliate relationships, taking affiliates to dinner. We got some crazy Vegas stories that happened there. I'm not going to get into it, but there was a lot of bonding with Christine and I. And then we met some good potential collaborations and partnerships that could also occur. And then I was also kind of scoping out what WPPI was. I have never been, if you can believe it. I've been a photographer for almost 13 years. And when I was like actually running a photography business, I can't believe I never went to WPPI. It was so cool to see like that massive of an expo and massive of a conference. And we were kind of also doing some like down low recon missions of, do we want to maybe have a booth at WPPI in 2026? I still haven't made the decision yet, but I learned a lot, and I'm so glad I went because I was just like picking all of these people's brains that that had booths there that I knew, seeing a lot of our partnerships that we have too, like Vendor Table Pod and Honeybook, and some album companies that we partner with and maybe might partner with in the future. White House Custom Color that I've used for years. So just like meeting people, talking, imagine, and talking to a couple other AI companies and like how we could work together with AI disclosures and the legalities of using AI and those type of things. So anyway, WPPI was great, had tons of fun. And then Christine and I also got to like do cool things. I loved Vegas in my mid 30s. I'm not going to lie. It's, in my opinion, so much better than your 20s. I went to Vegas hard in like my 2021 or my 2021, my 21st, 22nd, 23rd kind of years of life. And then I haven't gone back for a while. And it was fun. We went to shows, we went to like nice dinners, and I got to experience that side of Vegas, which was really fun. Then right after that, I came home, and this was like, when I say it was a marathon travel, it was. I would be back for like 2 nights and then go again. I had a really cool 60th surprise birthday trip planned for my mom with her best friends, my sister-in-law, me, and it was amazing. We went to Oregon wine country, kind of an off season in March, end of March. But she had no idea what was happening. She didn't even know we were going on a trip. I like showed up at her house. I have really fun reels. You can go find them on Instagram, on just how it all went down. And I just have I have a huge smile on my face right now because it was one of the best trips ever. And it was so just amazing to see how happy my mom was and to shower her with love with everyone who's loved her for so many years, so many decades. These people have known her for 40 years. So we did that. And then we came back, a lot of wine, a lot of partying, a lot of it was Vegas. And then let's go to wine country. And I came back and was like, oh my gosh, my liver. Then I was like, hey, I've got some business things, more business things. The next week, I went to the Creative Educator Conference that is hosted by Leila Amati. I have never been. I have sponsored previously. I was actually having babies in the previous years, and so I wasn't able to go. And I was postpartum. So this year I wanted to make it a point to go. We had a booth. I went with Leisha, who is our new marketing manager. And so she got to kind of experience a conference as well. And a lot of those people there are very specific target market audience. A lot of them are customers of TLP. A lot of them are affiliates of TLP. We probably had 20 affiliates there. And I got to just see Jen and from Tonic and see Haley Gaffin and see Laylee and see Poppy and all of these people that I am really good friends with in the industry. So that was great. Got to see Akua from Honeybook, and yeah, it was lovely. So it was a good conference. I will definitely be going back next year. You guys should check it out and put it on your map for 2026. And then I had my final retreat for the Jasmine Star Mastermind. And that was really amazing, super great. And then I was back home kind of mid-April. So mid-April and May, deep prep for our mid-year sale. I did tons of recordings. We did a lot of contract updates. It was just marketing galore, prepping, strategy, everything. Then, oh my gosh, this is so sad to look at in my outline. I hate talking about this. I said goodbye to our copywriter of 8 years. She has been with me since the beginnings, the birth of the Legal Paige. It was so bittersweet and emotional. I posted about it a lot on Instagram I was had weird cries in the car. It was seriously, this is still one of the best working relationships I have ever had. She was on the team the longest as well. So it was I was losing my longest team member, and it was a beautiful goodbye. She wasn't leaving to go do another job. She was leaving to go be a mom, and she was having her fourth baby. And I totally got where she was at in life and business, and her life and being a mom was taking more of a priority. And she, with the Legal Paige obviously growing and scaling and all these things, she just couldn't keep up with the copywriting that we needed. So that was it was a really sad email to get, and then a really sad Boxer to get. Then I finished Jasmine's Mastermind, also very sad. That community was magic, but I've really tried to keep in contact with the gals that I really met and fostered super good relationships with. We're actually kind of doing our own mastermind here in a couple weeks. We're meeting up all together again, and I'm very excited about that. So TBD, I'll let you know how that goes. Oh gosh, I forgot this happened. Then we let go of our customer service associate and another team member. That one stung. Oh my God. We lost 3 people in a month. I don't like to, I am not ever ready to talk about this weird loss that I had. I don't mind talking about the copywriter, and I don't mind talking about the customer service associate. That just wasn't, it honestly wasn't a position that we needed. We kind of figured out that Christine could fill that position. And then our operations manager at the time could assist Christine with helping with customer service, and they could tag team together. So I felt my team was a little bloated, honestly. And so, and the numbers weren't numbering for payroll. And so we kind of consolidated. I knew that was going to happen when we uplifted Casey into COO position, and then we brought in a marketing manager. We also had an operations manager on board, and then we brought Christine on, and I knew at some point my team was going to get bloated, and it already really started to feel like it. So that was a personal decision. I let someone go, but then, Anna left as our copywriter for 8 years, and then I had this other team member that just it was a very weird situation. I don't even know how to get into it. But anyway, they left. It happened quickly, very unexpectedly. And it happened the week before our mid-year sale. And I was oh my gosh, this was someone who was really helpful to me in my life being a CEO. So what I had to do at that time, I learned from the Jasmine Star Mastermind from Rick Mulready, if you want to go look him up. He came in and did a keynote kind of talk to all of us mastermind gals about bringing in AI to help manage some of the back-end work. And it was a huge game changer for us with customer service. So not only did I learn that my team was bloated, he like came in and shook up my head a little bit on you need to like have AI be a huge part of customer service. And so we did. So we set up a custom GPT, and Casey and I were able to like really create a cool AI bot in my ChatGPT Pro version for customer service. The team uses it, but we still like a lot of human element to it. So Christine, our lawyer, is in there a lot, but it does help with like just general customer service questions that are coming into our inbox day in and day out. So yeah, we did that kind of in May leading up to the sale because we were like, hey, what are we going to do with customer service? All right, next segment here, May Madness. Growing pains is what I'm calling this. The mid-year sale, we went so hard. Oh my goodness. Looking back to May, no wonder I was so tired come June. We did everything with Leisha at the helm of marketing and Casey really like leaning into this COO role. And then our other Casey, C, that was like really helping with operations and customer service. And then Christine was in. We like no stone was unturned. I was like, I'm doing everything for affiliates and we're going hard for these 4 days of the mid-year sale. I was like, if we don't do everything, it's 2025. The marketing world is changing so much. I've had my finger on it. We're talking about it in our mastermind. Like, I wanted to try everything and do everything that has worked in the past and really lean into affiliates and every marketing effort, not only like meta ads, but what were we doing on organic marketing and then our affiliate marketing and then email marketing. If something didn't work, it was not for lack of effort. That is how I wanted to come out of May. And oh my gosh, looking at this list, I'm like, man, why did that happen? Then we made a big change. So, okay, mid-year sale went well. It went really well. I was very, very happy with how the mid-year sale went. The hustle energy in May paid off. We had a great sale. It's so nice to go into the summer feeling that way. And that is kind of how the ebbs and flows of TLP work. If you've listened to this podcast at all for years or any past episodes that I kind of talk about, okay, what's all happening in entrepreneur and personal life, I talk about this a lot, how the seasons of TLP is really important to me. And I have made sure that we only have 2 big sales a year so that we can intentionally take some downtime or just slower time as a business in the summer and then in the winter. And after we went so hard kind of in the winter, like January and February of 2025, I was like, we're not doing that again. We're going to go hard in May again, and then we're going to take the summer off. And it really happened that way. So that's cool. Looking at this bullet point though, I'm like, oh my God, another team member. I forgot we did that. I had a big change in bookkeeping and accounting. And this is mainly due to Casey coming in as COO and like I opened up our numbers to her and she is now like financial manager, like definitely runs a lot of the CFO things. I am still at the top and I look at my numbers like a hawk, but she is now, it's cool to have someone else looking at them. And it was eye-opening that there was some things missed with our previous bookkeeper and accountant and like things that had happened. And we needed fresh new eyes. She had someone in mind. So we brought someone on. They were amazing. They found a lot of things that needed attention. We also decided to move to Gusto for payroll instead of having our accountant do that because there was just some like so much back and forth and like unnecessary maintenance there. And this new bookkeeper was like, I can run payroll. Casey and I can handle this. It'll be good for Casey to get into the numbers. Yeah. So honestly, Casey, me, and new bookkeeper, we're in our P&Ls every single month. It's like a ritual. It's great. That was also a transition I forgot about. That happened in May. Like, thumbs up. So much team growth and reduction in such a short time. Like, I felt like 2025 was like, said to me, buckle up, Paige, come along for the ride. And that didn't end, which is now in September. I was like, okay, we need a breath in the summer. And then I felt like it just happened again at the end of August, which I'll get to. All right. Next segment here. I'm going to try really hard to like get through this without getting emotional. It is still hard. 3 months later, grief and healing and like summer recalibration. Oh my God, here we go. All right. May 31st, after a great sale, after all this stuff that happened at the beginning of the year, and I was like kind of feeling like I was hitting my stride. I lost my soul dog, Sugar. And it just crushed me. Sorry, hold on. I do not get emotional except when I talk about this dog. And I have never had a dog. Like growing up, we had a cat for 19 years and Sarabi was amazing, but I just like never had that dog person relationship until I was an adult. And Marco and I got Sugar um 8 years ago. I got her on a whim. It was when Marco and I first started living together and really dating, right before we got engaged. And she was our everything and my first child, is what we like to call it. Um, it happened very fast. Like she got really sick. I kind of knew that something was going on, but then one night she just dropped and couldn't get up, and I took her to the emergency bed and I didn't get to take her home. It was just like so traumatizing, and it was just like, oh my goodness. Anyway, okay, I'm done. Anyway, if you've ever lost a pet, I like talked about it finally on social media, and I had an outpouring of love, and I finally felt like people understood where I was. I've lost like family members and people, but I've never lost someone like this close to me in my immediate family. And I do think of her as like a human. She was like my emotional support animal, my office buddy, like constant companion. She was my best friend. Like you get it if you've had a soul dog before, and it just wrecked me in ways I could not even comprehend. I was out for like 2 weeks. For a week, I didn't want to see anyone. My eyes were like cyclopses. I just could not stop crying. My kids were all concerned about me. Marco was concerned. Marco was also just devastated. Like it just rocked our family so hard. And we just moved to this like big beautiful house, and now we don't have a dog to fill it up, and she like had this beautiful yard. Anyway, it hurt to breathe. I have never felt grief like that. I am still emotional. Anyway, I used to be able a couple weeks ago to talk about it without getting sad. So I was like slowly healing in June. I just felt like life smacked me in the face and said, yeah, no, you need to figure out rest. You got to figure it out real quick. And here's like a huge emotional traumatizing event to kick that off. So there was a lot of slow healing in June. I felt like by my birthday on June 21st, I was able to like try to bring a little joy back in. My mom took me on a girls trip to Spokane, Washington, and we just like went shopping and had nice dinners and had a massage and stayed at the Coeur d'Alene Lake Resort, which we've never stayed at. And I just like smiled a little bit and laughed a little bit, which I was like, okay, there's like a light at the end of the tunnel here of losing your soul dog. So yeah, then just like something beautiful happened out of all of that is I was already planning on taking almost all of July and August off, and I just forced myself to do it. I felt like mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and just exhaustion level of everything that we had been doing for 5 months, and then this thing happening in my personal life. I just did. I took it all off. I spent real unstructured time with my kids, and I went to the lake and I unplugged. I felt like all of end of June into July and all of August, I was maybe at home for like 2 days a week, and then I just immediately go back up to the lake. I just really discovered what rest actually meant as a human and a business owner. And like when you have a traumatizing event happen in your life, how you really you need to take time to heal. So I didn't fill my calendar. I filled my cup up. Uh I told my team no. I did team management from Voxer and my phone and Slack. I rarely went into my email inbox. It started piling up. I finally got through my inbox at the end of July or end of August, sorry, to get it back down. And we did not have any big launches. We did not have any big events. I did not travel anywhere. I said no to basically everything. We barely had any people up at the lake. I had my parents' best friends for the 4th of July, and then I had my best girlfriend from college come in the middle of August, and her family, and that was it. Like a lot of my family just couldn't make it this year, and it was good. I spent a lot of time with my parents and my kids and my husband. and just squeeze them really, really, really hard all summer. I did a lot of thinking and healing on paddle boards and just looking at the mountains and being in big sky, the big sky country of Montana, and just loving this beautiful state. And we had a really mild summer. It was beautiful. It was like maybe in the 80s. Beautiful boating weather, no like crazy 95 to 100-degree weather. We didn't have a lot of smoke, which was so amazing. So yeah, it was a good summer. It was a good summer. It was a healing summer for me. All right, moving on. all the while, I step back from TLP, but I've still been working on something else. I can't tell you everything. But amidst all of the things I just said, I was still working on a big ass project behind the scenes. It is a new platform. Hint, hint, there's like contracts and invoicing and TLP magic involved in it. We are building it from the ground up. I'm going to need beta testers this fall. So if that sounds like your jam and you're a business owner and you're like interested and you want to build something with me, message me, DM me on Instagram. I want to talk. You can be one of my beta testers inside group. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. It's still happening. I'm still working on it. I have calls every week. It lights me up. I'm very excited about it. I cannot wait to launch it and talk to you guys about it. But there's a little sprinkle, little fun sprinkle. All right, what are my takeaways? We're nearing the end of this episode. I need to wrap it up. I just cried for whatever reason on a podcast. I don't know if I've ever done that before. All righty. What are my realist takeaways from the first 8 months of 2025? Number one, managing a team is hard, but worth it. There is literally no handbook for it. And every single business is different. Every person is different that you work with. You as a leader and a manager grow so much. It is hard. It is never easy. I'm not going to lie. I love it. Like I just get so jazzed about managing and leading a team. And I've loved leadership my whole life, but I continually learn from every experience. I mean, we literally just, oh my gosh, in August, I was going to tell you that. At the end of August, we had someone put in their 2 weeks. It was a beautiful end to that relationship and contractor relationship. But I was so sad because it was unexpected. And I'm so happy for this person. They like found a new full-time employment and it just worked really good for their family and their schedule. And they didn't want to be a contractor anymore. And I got it. And I couldn't top the offer, you know? And so it was a great end. And then we also let another team member go at the end of August after, again, there's so much shifting and team things that were going on. We kind of felt like we were bloated in another area of the business. And I don't want to take on bloat. I want to have a small enough team that are A++ players that work really hard in the lanes that they're working in. And we kind of found another area where I could pick up a few pieces that I liked doing. We also I leaned into that this summer of what do I like doing? That's a huge takeaway from the first 8 months of 2025. Like, what do I really truly love doing and what lights me up? And that's what I want to do. And network marketing is one of those, and like helping with my affiliates a ton. So yeah, we had that. Another lesson out of this is like life is full of curveballs, like grief, change, joy, all of that can exist at once. But it's also really hard to navigate as a human, and being really truly human with all of that going on and running a, 7-figure plus business and running a law firm that's now becoming a 6-figure plus business, and starting a new company, and like all of these things going on at the same time while being a mom and also a human. Have you seen those reels? I keep telling my friends lately, reels and TikToks that are like, even though I'm just a mom, I'm still a girl in my 30s just trying to figure out life for the first time. That's how I feel. Okay, takeaway. More takeaways. Get back to it. Noise reduction. It's everything. I am leaning into limiting my inputs and distractions. I have taken a lot of things off of my phone. I don't have notifications on. I never really have, but I'm just taking things away and letting myself just think clearly and creatively again. Revolutionary. I am also choosing strategy over hustle. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. I say hustle question mark. I hustle seasonally. And I though like to choose strategy. My marketing manager now is like full blown. I need a plan. I need strategy. I don't like to go with things on a whim. Um, I forgot to say we lost someone else in June. I let someone else go in June. Oh my gosh, so much going on. Okay. Yeah, I think like 5 people that we've lost on the team, but then also beautifully gained. One, we just hired someone else last week. One, like hired 4, kept on 2, lost a couple others. So there's so much just changing with the business, but it's for the best. It's for the best. Anyway, back to Leisha, our marketing manager. She loves strategy. She loves planning. She needs to like see things out far enough out. Doesn't like to do things last minute. Totally get that. And her and Casey vibe in that respect. I am such a visionary and I'm like, well, let's do this tomorrow. And so I'm trying to like get into on Instagram or other social media platforms, like not just like posting and praying, really like thinking intentionally about what we're posting, either being on trend if we do want to do trending things, but like mapping out things in advance. Really, we're trying to map things out every quarter now with lots of intentional purpose behind it. Another big thing I learned, if you haven't kind of caught my drift already with team management, and ebbing and flowing of people coming in and out of your business, is costs are rising. Oh my goodness. Our overhead at the Legal Page is probably 25 to 30% higher than it was in 2022 and 2023. I've gone back and looked at the numbers, and so has Casey. Like, I have to be so specific on leanness, being smart, and looking at my data. Data driven numbers matter more than ever. And every decision that I make counts right now. I like to be heavily profitable as a business. I am pretty darn risk averse on the risk spectrum. And I don't like to spend a lot on marketing initiatives. I like to be really good with organic marketing and SEO and our affiliate marketing, which isn't like a pay to play game. It's truthfully like relationship building and then them pitching and them making money. I'd rather pay my affiliates than Meta, but I still have to be in the game with Meta and like top of mind for people with ads. So just costs in general are rising. They are getting crazy on our P&Ls every single month and they like keep going up. So we're just really looking at numbers, and that is a huge takeaway now 8 months into 2025. So go look at your P&Ls at least once a month, if not twice, if not 4 times a month or more. Go look at your bank account. And really be intentional about, are we using this platform? Should we should we consolidate? How can we use AI a little bit more? Like, how can we get lean and mean and, smarter? So do that and go look at your subscription numbers and how much subscriptions have increased over the past 2 years. It's insane. But I get it because inflation is high. Like, team costs are a lot higher now for me. The numbers I was paying people in 2020 and 2021 and 2022 are not the numbers I'm paying people now. Like, I get it. Your cost of living went up. So I need to pay you more. And you guys, I have not had an increase in our TLP prices in years. I think since the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, we have not touched our prices. So it is a volume game for us. I kind of refuse to increase my prices. We thought about it this summer and it just wasn't sitting with me. I did not want that for small business owners. They're hurting too. Okay. All right. Costs are rising. That's a takeaway. Let me quickly get through these. I need to like wrap up this episode. All right. Marketing calendar at clarity. We actually did a really cool 2-day marketing planning session at the end of June when I was like feeling a little bit better. So Casey, Leisha, and I sat down in person and Alicia wasn't able to make it, but Casey and I were in person. And then we did it in a conference room and like had her up, in Zoom for the whole day. We mapped out the entire rest of 2025 and leading into 2026, because we have actually some maternity leaves happening in 2026. I'm not going to say what's going on. But yeah, we just did. And so I have all women that are childbearing age on my team. And I feel like when one team member gets pregnant, everybody gets pregnant. I am not pregnant, but we got to plan it out. We got to plan it out in advance, and like way more in advance than we need to or usually do. So we planned out all of 2025. That was amazing. We also just hopped on another marketing check-in this week that really put our focus more intentionally on this fall. So we like had it planned out, but we left some TBDs and like what's happening in the industry and taking a pulse check. So we are fully focused on fall 2025. Totally worth it to have so much marketing calendar clarity. And we just do in general. Our Monday boards. I wish I could just like snap it and show it to you guys on our marketing channels that we have in Monday, and our task management for all of our marketing channels. It's amazing. I'm just looking at it right now. We have our email marketing, lead magnet funnels, social media, website and miscellaneous, all things affiliates, blogs, YouTube, Legally Legit podcast, PR and collabs and partnerships and public relations. So many things happening at TLP all the time. And we have clarity now, and it's really great. Everyone just feels awesome with the marketing lane of TLP. Another just fun takeaway, I love looking at this one on my outline, is TLP is just the team as a whole is like so top tier, A++ players. I am taking that as a huge win this year. We are always updating contracts. Like TLP is using AI smartly. We're also educating on using AI smartly and legally for small business owners. I feel like we're always really, really, really trying to stay ahead of the curve, even in a saturated space now. You know, the virtual attorneys that now kind of are everywhere didn't exist when I first started the Legal Page, and now they do. And so like, how can we still be a leader in this industry? And how can the Legal Page like shine above others? Like what kind of like free education can we give all the time, everywhere, every day? So I'm so proud of where we're at still. And it's fun to like always see the progression. In that same vein, progression, we have a new website coming. Another secret project I've been working on. When we were like developing this other platform, we had some developers tear apart our website for user experience and just like how we were going to transition things over to this new platform. It's a long story. I'll get into it at another episode, but we have been working on this, Casey and I, behind the scenes for the rest of the summer. So I took a step back from TLP with all of my other obligations and kept on our development for our secret project and then our website. So we needed to update our website. It's been a few years, and it's going to come out like end of September, early October is my hope. We have a fully custom website. We're on Shopify. We have so many products there. We have so many customers there. We can't move from Shopify, but Shopify is actually pretty challenging to do in my space because it's truly just an e-commerce platform. We are like a d-commerce, like digital product platform. But so it's important that our user experience is tailored to an e-commerce approach. We want our customers, potential customers, to be on our website, find their products easily, navigate through the website easily, check out easily, get in access to their customer account easily. But we also have a lot of education. So we have tons of blogs, we have lots of podcasts, we push people to freebies and resources. And so it's like an amalgamation of all things at TLP, and that needs to be custom created. And we were just using like templates, Shopify templates, and then customizing them. But this is like a full sweep of a new website. Yay! So excited. I can't wait to show you guys all. It's going to launch. So fun. All right. Best of all, I think my biggest takeaway is I'm not burnt out right now. And that's so fun to like come into the fall and be excited and jazzed. That feels like the biggest win of all for me after a lot of stuff happened in 2025 already. I am so excited. Like, let's go fall rush. I love falling leaves. The Burr months are my favorite. Wink, wink. September, October, November, December. I love the Burr months. I love fall. It is my favorite season. I love summer too, but I really love fall. And yeah, like that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, my friend. If this summer like felt a little unproductive on paper to me, it was like so rich in time and connection and reflection. If that's where you are, like you're not alone. Here I am raising my hand. And now it's go time. So fall is here, launches are happening or coming up, and webinars are going on, and education, and I'm guest experting places. I'm traveling again. I feel like Black Friday is on the horizon, and early Black Friday and holiday promos are around the corner. My team was like, it's 11 weeks away, and that kind of gave me panic, but it's fine. I'm very, very, very excited. So my friend, if whether you're like ramping up your marketing calendar, if you're, working on new offers or like tweaking things on the back end, or you're just like a mompreneur trying to keep your head above water, like I see you, I'm right here in the trenches with you. So let's do this together. I want you to make these next few months intentional and really, really impactful through your business. And I'm like, what do we need to do? What do we need to like have DM voice messages back and forth? I don't know. If that's you, hit me up. Let's do this. As always, my friend, stay legally legit. I'll give you more legal tips coming up in future episodes. This is more of a personal update. Until next time, peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. Be sure to visit thelegalpaige.com for contract templates, blogs, and additional legal resources. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend or on Instagram with your favorite takeaway, and make sure you tag me at The Legal Paige. Sharing is one of the best ways you can support the show. And if you've been tuning in for a while and you are finding value in these episodes, it would mean the world to me if you popped over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and left a rating and review. Hearing your feedback absolutely inspires me to continue creating podcast content. Lastly, you can join my free Facebook group at tlpfacebook.com, and this is where you'll get access to me, my legal team, and thousands of other entrepreneurs for unlimited business and legal Q&A. Until next time, my friend.